Chances are when you need a locksmith, it's a rather pressing situation. You might be locked out of your car, you might be locked out of your home. In either case, you know the deal. You need help and you wanted it about 10 minutes ago. And it's precisely what makes these situations ripe for scammers. Who knew? Well, Shari does, and she's joining us this morning with more information on this. I guess when you're desperate, they can really take advantage of you,
problem,
can't they?
Roxanne. Yeah, well, 85% of our local business needs are actually sourced on Google. So you do a search for locksmiths, and these ads pop up, and you see the building location, and it looks like a local business, and it says $19, and it looks like a good deal. The thing is that these ads are fake. These are actually service centers, call centers, out of state, sometimes out of the country, that are taking out these ads, advertising very low prices, putting up fake photographs of buildings even to make it look like they're actually a physically located local business. And then they contract with local guys who don't even have their own business location, there's a lot of turnover with them, they're poorly trained, that kind of thing. That's the guy that's going to show up. And what they're trained to do is to basically size you up and charge you as much money as they can for the service that you thought was going to be a relatively inexpensive service. So it's actually one of the biggest growing bait and switches, and also one of the biggest growing areas for consumer complaints. And I can tell you, I actually tested this out with our office. We called one of these companies, $19. The guy came out almost $300. We called an actual local locksmith, $85 to do the same job.
Well, and can some of these guys be a little shady too?
Well, that's the thing. Now they're going to have access to your local premises. It's a scary thing.
So, all right, are there laws that cover all this to protect us?
Yeah, there are consumer protection laws, mostly against fraudulent and deceptive trade practices on the federal and state level, internet laws. But here's the thing, these businesses are in and out of business so quickly that it's really difficult to enforce the laws because of technology. They can take down a fake business and put up a new one within a matter of minutes, and very few people report this kind of thing because, like you said, you call a locksmith and you're in a rush, you get the job done and you move on.
Well, so how do you find somebody reputable in these cases if you don't want to? I mean, we all use Google.
And it's not just, so there are some things you can do. It's not just locksmiths though, it's service providers. So anytime you're going to hire a local person to help install something or move something or relocate or clean, you've got garage door opening companies, carpet cleaning companies. First of all, you should beware under those circumstances. When you do a Google search and you see a zillion companies that pop up that look similar with a similar price, in the case of locksmiths, $19, that's another red flag. Look for the fine print because oftentimes they will advertise that that's an estimate and then you show up and it's a whole different price. The other thing is, Roxanne, a lot of these industries have professional associations. So with locksmiths, for example, you can go to the Association of Locksmiths of America. It's ALOA.org. They actually have their own searchable database for real local business people that are legitimate. And then last, if you run into this situation, file a complaint. Complain with Google, complain with the Attorney General's office, and file a complaint at the Federal Trade Commission, FTC.gov.
It's great advice. And as you mentioned, it doesn't just include locksmiths.
Not just locksmiths, and I tested this for real. It happens to the tune of hundreds of dollars.
And you can always check with a friend or neighbor, too.
Yeah,
I mean,
ask
find
for
out
referrals.
word of mouth.
Yeah.
Thanks, Shari. Always good to see you. Thanks for the information.
And if you're headed out this morning,